CTV News with Tom Hayes and Andrea Case.
Good evening. 25 years of pride in Toronto.
The rainbow flag was flying high today and has been all week, actually. We take a live look now from the CTV chopper at the Village. The parade is over, but the party, as you can see, is still going strong. This is Yonge Street just a couple of hours ago. The heat didn't stop hundreds of thousands of people coming out to take part in the 25th annual Pride Parade and show their support. It had a bit of everything, lots of color, lots of sound, and of course, motorcycles. This year's theme is 25 years and counting. Festivities have been going on all week to mark Pride. And CTV's GALIT Solomon is in the middle of it all on Church Street and joins us now. Hi, GALIT.
Hi there, Tom. The party here on Church Street continues. As you can see, there is a sea of people here tonight, and they say they plan to celebrate until the late hours of the night. But today, the celebration began at about 2 with the 25th annual Pride Parade. By the sheer number of people who converged on Yonge Street today, this was the place to be. Pride Parade 2005 organizers expected today's event to draw in some 1 million spectators from across North America.
I'm an American. I love it here. It's beautiful.
They braved the heat using various contraptions like umbrellas and, of course, water to cool off. Even Toronto's finest took part in a friendly water fight. Some hope for a front row seat.
It's my first year. I'm in the front. I'm in the shade. I'm with my friend Jill. It's like the best. Woo!
While others created their own VIP section, and all for this. 158 floats and organizations paraded west along Bloor Street and south down Yonge. Politicians, police, and participants mingled, and a first-time appearance by a Toronto police chief.
Your first parade?
Oh no, I've been to many parades.
But as chief, that is.
This is my first one as chief.
Right. How does it feel?
Oh, it's very nice. Beautiful day.
This is the Pride Parade's silver anniversary. It all began in 1981 when about 1,500 people gathered here in the city of Toronto for an afternoon celebration. 25 years later, a loud cheer from the crowd when the first gay couple legally married in Canada, the Michaels, walked past.
You know, when we met 24 years ago, we were at we started the second Pride. There were like 12 people.
The theme for this year's parade celebrated the achievements of the last quarter century and looks ahead to the future. And you're looking live now at shots from our chopper of Church Street where the celebration continues. Now, Pride Toronto is the organization that put this event together. Staff and the volunteers raised approximately $1 million this year to make sure that this is a free event. Reporting live from Church Street, I'm GALIT Solomon. Now back to you.
Thanks, GALIT. Today's Pride March comes one day before Parliament Hill will debate the federal government's same-sex legislation. The Liberals say they will consider the possibility of ending the debate early for an actual vote if there are delays intended to stall passage.
You must pay more.
I can't pay more.
Super Bad Boy, saving Canadians since 1955. To the rescue again. Super savings on furniture, appliances, electronics, and bedding. Super deal. English fridge with ice and water dispenser, $8.68. Frigidaire front-load washer and dryer, $11.98. And no interest till 2008, or no GST and PST.
Thanks, Bad Boy.
Who saves you more? Who's better?
Nobody! Murder.
Pride and 1,000 more years of pride. Have a good night.
Good evening. The official celebrations may be over, but Toronto is still bursting with pride.
Let's go live to Sharon Navarro, who's in the village where some parties are just getting started. Sharon.
Hi, Francis and Morella. Well, the super soakers are empty. The floats are put away, but the parade is over, but the party is still raging here in the village at Church and Wood, and folks are reflecting on a memorable Pride 2005.
Oh my God, this is gonna be the biggest Pride we've ever had. This is amazing, and I'm so happy
Everybody should be like this every day. It shouldn't be just one time, it should be every day. Every day is Pride Day! Very happy, we love it. It's so much fun.
Pride 2005 has created a lot of memories for many of the folks here. And from an organizer standpoint, with about 1 million people in attendance, it's a success and it's historic.
We've had an extraordinarily great celebration to celebrate our 25th anniversary. You know, you can't really beat it. We've had historic moments. We saw today the police chief marching in his first ever Pride Parade. That's the first time a Toronto police chief has ever marched in a Pride Parade.
And for couple Amber and Kiara, Pride is always extraordinary.
The Pride Parade is special to me because I met my love of my life here 2 years ago, and it's been special ever since.
Pride 2005 will also be remembered as a hot one in more ways than one for spectators, participants, and the EMS.
Pride's been quite busy. We've had a number of patients that have actually needed to have a lot of water and a lot of hydration. So because of the heat, and I think people wanted to celebrate a little longer than they really should have, we've had a few issues.
For 25 years, gays and lesbians in Toronto have celebrated their growing freedom, equality, and acceptance. Gay pioneer Alexander Wood would be proud.
There's to celebrate life, beauty, everything. We can just walk around in the street without having to be afraid of anything, just like everybody else.
While they're partying it up on Church Street tonight, earlier today, about 1 million people filled Yonge Street for the 25th annual Pride Parade, and Zoraida Allman has that story.
This is the new Canada, honestly. It's wonderful. If you want to see the changing face of Toronto and Canada, this is it.
We are the Supreme Sistren. Our powers are for good. I am Pansy Man.
And I am Sissy Boy. We're here to save Pride from heterosexuality.
After 25 years, the Pride Parade has gone from peaceful protest to the party of the year.
I'm having a ball.
What's the best part of the parade so far?
Me.
All right, you just caught my attention.
Hi!
Happy Pride!
How are ya? We're loving every minute of everybody. I got a permanent smile on my face. I love the crowd. I love the city.
In 1981, 1,500 people came out to celebrate the very first Pride Day celebrations. Here we are 25 years later. I guess you could say it's the little party that grew.
To 1 million revelers, 20,000 marchers, and loads of fun.
Everybody's having a good time. The sun's shining. Couldn't ask for anything better.
Was it hard to choose what outfit to wear today?
Definitely.
How did you decide?
Has to be something big and elegant.
Whether it's walking the streets in Regent Park, where he started 24 years ago, or walking the parade route, Chief is sticking to his commitment to community by becoming the first chief to join the parade.
Chief Blair, this is a huge gesture on your part, being the first chief to do this. How do you feel about that?
I'm going to start here with the people of Toronto. It's a great community celebration. I'm very happy to be here.
If someone told you 25 years ago you'd be walking alongside the chief in this parade?
No, it would never. We'd be dreaming.
This parade, which was founded because the gay community was outraged at the way it was being treated by the Toronto Police Service, for the police chief to be in it, that says how far Toronto's come, and I'm very proud of our city.
But in all of this
fun, there is a political message that comes with Pride Week, and that is human rights is for everyone. On Church Street, I'm Zoraida Ullman for CityPulse tonight.
And I'm joined now by Fred Pitt, co-chair for Pride Toronto. Hi, Fred.
Hi, Sharon. How are you doing?
I am very well. Happy Pride.
Thank you very much. Same to you.
Now, Fred, fabulous. We have to say we have lots of people. It was a fabulous parade. In your eyes, as one of the organizers, what do you think?
This was a terrific parade. I think it was one of our biggest parades ever. We've had record attendance at all of our stages tonight. You just saw DJ Zara wind down at our south stage, so we're really pleased. It's been a spectacular Pride. I think one of our biggest ones.
Wow. And speaking of spectacular and big Pride celebrations, what about next year?
Well, we're already planning some things for next year. We can't say...
Give us a tease. Tease us. Pride is all about tease. Tease us more.
Well, you know how good it was this year. We're going to have some great entertainment again. You know, we saw Carol Pope on the stage this year, David Usher, so you can look for more of that next year. We're looking for more fabulous volunteers next year to help us out because they did such a great job this year. So I think you're going to have we'll have an even more spectacular Pride next year, for sure.
Thank you, Fred, very much for joining us, and I'm sure I'll be chatting with you in the next near future.
I can't wait.
Thank you very much. Well, it's Fred Pitt from one of the co-chairs for Pride Toronto. You know, the part of the street here at Church and Wood will be closed until 6 a.m. tomorrow into the wee hours, and partiers and revelers all around me will be partying pretty much until the wee hours until then. Here at Church and Wood, I'm Sharon Navarro. Now I'll send it back to the newsroom.
All right, Sharon, and the million people showing up for Pride means big bucks for Toronto as people party all night and shop all day.
Pride merchandise, t-shirts, tank tops, bracelets.
Oh man, we've gone through an awful lot of money. It's you know, at least a couple $1,000s, but it's pretty cool. You get to come out and support the gay businesses and all of the businesses that support us.
Hotels are booked up. Restaurants and bars around the city are packed with partygoers, all of which has generated at least $80 million for Toronto. Businesses could top that figure next year as many visitors are already planning to attend the 26th annual Pride celebrations. Francis.
While cash registers have been ringing all over town today, the fun began on a more spiritual note, full of prayer and song. Revelers gathered for a prayer service led by Reverend Joe Bell and Reverend Brent Hawks of the Metropolitan Community Church. They blessed Pride celebrations in Toronto and around the world. Reverend Hawks said he was especially proud that our city's parade began with prayer.
The community really is a deeply spiritual community, and so for the opportunity to begin the day this way was a great way to start.
Our church really is a church that welcomes all. We are not just a Christian church. We want to really be a house of prayer for all people, and they felt the joy and the love that is authentic in our people, in our congregation, in our church.
Reverend Hawks has been a longtime activist for gay and lesbian rights. In 1981, the same year as the first Pride Parade, he went on a hunger strike to protest police raids on gay bathhouses. And many political leaders were in Toronto today, including opposition leader Stephen Harper. Now, he avoided Pride celebrations, choosing instead to speak out against gay marriage ahead of next week's Commons debate. At a Muslim religious conference in Mississauga, Harper said religious groups had to band together to protect the traditional definition of marriage.
CTV News with Tom Hayes and Andrea Case.
Good evening. Thousands just aren't ready to call it a night.
An estimated 1 million people got the party started on Yonge Street today, and this is the scene tonight as thousands help keep the party going in the village. Dancing, bands, all kinds of entertainment in the Church and Wood area, and the party is expected to continue into the wee hours of the morning. Cleanup crews hoping to have the streets reopened by 5 a.m. With more on today's parade, here's CTV's GALIT.
By the sheer number of people who converged on Yonge Street today, this was the place to be. Pride Parade 2005 organizers expected today's event to draw in some 1 million spectators from across North America.
I'm an American. I love it here. It's beautiful.
They braved the heat using various contraptions like umbrellas and, of course, water to cool off. 158 floats and organizations paraded west along Bloor Street and south down Yonge. Politicians, police and participants mingled, and a first-time appearance by a Toronto police chief.
How does it feel? Oh, it's very nice. Beautiful day.
This is the Pride Parade's silver anniversary. It all began in 1981 when about 1,500 people gathered here in the city of Toronto for an afternoon celebration. 25 years later, a loud cheer from the crowd when the first gay couple legally married in Canada, the Michaels, walked past.
You know, when we met 24 years ago, we were at we started the second Pride. There were like 12 people.
The theme for this year's parade celebrated the achievements of the last quarter century and looks ahead to the future.
GALIT Solomon, CTV News.